Hi, I'm Lauren,
I'm Callie.
and this is the Book Common Room podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Book Common Room podcast. Here we are with the spoilers of Wuthering Heights, everybody.
Oh no.
I mean, how much spoilers can we give you if you've all been exposed to like the recent promotion and like film adaptation of Wuthering Heights by
This has also been out for so long.
Yeah. This is in the public domain.
It is in the public domain.
Yeah. So you should probably have already been spoiled at this point. But here we are with our reactions, our thoughts. I think it would be kind of fun to sum up both of our reading experiences in a word.
Reading experience in a word?
Yeah, like what was your reading experience in a word? I had one actually for this. I think mine's going to be wild. I think it has to be wild. Wild.
That's a good one.
Just wild, untamed, all the things you associate with that word is how it felt when I did listen to this. My listening experience, I guess. It was like, when you listen to it, it's kind of like the tea. You're like hearing the drama.
I got that when I was reading it. I mean, my coworker, she had just finished Wuthering Heights when I started it. And so we were talking about it a little bit, and I was just kind of joking around. I'm like, it kind of just feels like I'm getting gossip right now.
No, like, I feel
I'm
like
hearing all the tea.
For real, I feel like someone could get famous on Instagram by just saying that they were friends with Nelly.
Yes.
And then say, she said this. Like someone could create a whole page.
Like retranslate
being Nelly's friend.
Yeah.
And like all the things Nelly's telling her. That's what this book is. It's just kidding. But anyways, yeah. So what was yours, Callie?
Oh, I don't know.
It's okay if you want to think about it too.
Probably wild is a good one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe like introspective.
Introspective for sure.
Probably would be my word.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. It makes you definitely retreat in yourself and question lots of things.
This is true. This is true.
And this was, okay, both of us, I think I got this right. Both of us have read this or like started reading this when we were younger.
Yes, this is actually the copy that I read from when I was in high school. And I wrote in this book. I have little notes from like 17, 16-year-old me. And it's pretty funny.
It's so interesting to like, we're such different people from what we were when we were 17, 16.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me is kind of sad that when I was 16, 17, I couldn't finish it. Because I was like, I'm not sure what's happening right now. Like I ate up Jane Eyre, but I could not get through Wuthering Heights when I was a teenager.
I was determined. I remember hating it and being so mad and being so happy when Catherine died. And then I just remember being like, oh, this is such a slog. But I did finish it.
I never did.
But like
when I was younger.
But this is basically just a good summary of all of my notes that are in here. So this page that I just flipped to, this is when Heathcliff is basically telling Nellie his whole plan to convince Catherine to marry Linton.
Uh-huh.
And they call each other cousins because that's what they are. It said that the two cousins may fall in love and get married. And I circled that and then I went, ew, no.
I think that does sum up the book though. That really does. Like, you know, Heathcliff. Heathcliff, no.
Or like, of course, replied the uncle with a hardly suppressed grimace. And then I said, at least he tried to suppress it.
Yeah.
Like those are the type of notes I left. I called Heathcliff a jerk a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's the worst. He doesn't even love Linton. He only loves Catherine.
Literally. Or Catherine is talking to Linton.
If you can even call it love.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Kathy's talking to Linton and she's teasing him about his mom leaving his dad. And she says, they're talking about their fathers. And Kathy goes, yours is a wicked man, retorted Catherine, and you are very naughty to dare repeat what he says. He must be wicked to have made Aunt Isabella leave him as he did. And I just went, truth.
But the thing is, it's so crazy because Linton tells young Kathy everything about, he was like, my dad was in love with your mom and my mom left my dad because she didn't love my dad. And Kathy was like, no!
Well, and she regarded like Linton as her real cousin, but Hareton is like her fake cousin.
Yep.
Like she could not come to the fact that this
Hareton was
like this animal like dude who can't read or spell is her cousin. Like she's related to him. It's
her sister's brother's child. Yes. Yeah, and it's just it's crazy this book. But definitely my reaction was like, I'd be walking and I'd be listening to this. I was like, I'd be like waking up in the morning, I would like put it on, or like right before I'd go to sleep, and I would just be like, oh, gasp! Oh, I hit the mic pretty hard. But I had lots of gasping moments where I'm like, which were always like, ew, like, or oh my gosh, like this is ridiculous, like. Who came up with this? And it's like Emily.
Emily came up with all of this.
Yeah. So those are just our very surface level reactions. Yeah, about that wild, introspective.
I loved it,
but I have to say, I want to read this book again. I want to read it again. I want to read it in paper. I want to like annotate. I'm just kind of in this like interesting phase of life where like to be able to do that. It takes up a lot more time that I just am not making. So, but I really enjoyed listening to it, and look forward to the day that I reread it to see kind of like how I think of different characters and how that changes. But anyways, loved it. Right, Callie.
Okay, so before I think we should really take a deep dive into our thoughts and all of the spoilers, I do want to share this because I think this is super cool. Yes. So I kind of wish I said this in our non-spoiler episode, but that's okay. So this just shows the genius of Emily Brontë.
Yeah.
So she knows the story she's going to write, and she starts. So Lockwood, right? He comes in and he meets Heathcliff, and there's this ghost, and it's like craziness. And Nellie sits down, this maid, and is like, well, let me tell you this story. And he's met Kathy, and he's immediately fallen in love. She's beautiful.
Lockwood?
Yes, Lockwood. This is all Lockwood. She's like, oh, Kathy's beautiful. And the story kind of, at least for me, it almost seemed like Emily was, oh, it's raining.
I know, it's perfect.
Perfect.
The spirit of Emily is with us today.
Literally. This is so this is page 6. So right at the beginning, Lockwood meets Kathy, and it's like, oh, is this going to be some romance book of this guy coming to this house and meeting this wild girl, and they're going to fall in love? And I just have to read this because I think it's really funny. Let's see here. So this is Lockwood's perspective. So he says, while enjoying a month of fine weather at the seacoast, I was thrown into the company of a most fascinating creature, a real goddess in my eyes. As long as she took no notice of me, I never told my love vocally. Still, if looks have language, the merest idiot might have guessed that I was over head and ears. She understood me at last and looked a return. So it's kind of like, oh, is Lockwood and Kathy, are they going to be like a thing? Is this going to be about their story?
Yep.
And we're going to hear about Kathy and her life. So the Never Told My Love is a reference to Twelfth Night by Shakespeare. So this is the one where Viola pretends to be a guy.
Yep.
And this is
everyone's seen She's the Man.
She's the Man. This is what
She's the Man is spinned off of Twelfth Night.
I mean, it's basically kind of the same thing.
It basically is.
So it's referencing Act 2, Scene 4. I won't read the whole thing, but Orsino and Viola are talking about what is love? That's the question that they're having between each other. So Orsino asks, what dost thou know concerning love? And then Viola, she accidentally outs herself as a woman and that she's in love with Orsino. But Orsino is such a dumb dude in the noggin that he doesn't get it.
So she's like, woof.
And so she's like, oh, my bad. But they have this whole conversation about what love is. And Orsino's like, oh, patience. Like, oh, patience. I just love patience so much. And there's that whole thing where Patience actually loves Viola, the man version of her.
Viola.
Anyways. But that's what I personally think the thesis of Wuthering Heights is the what is love. And I think that's what she keeps going back to.
Yeah, what is love and what does love make you do?
What does it make you do and what is it supposed to look like? Because there's so many different types of love. Like you could even argue like Nellie talks a lot about how she loves Catherine and Heathcliff when he was little, and Kathy.
And the young Kathy.
And like she was basically young Kathy's mom.
Yep.
Like she literally viewed Kathy as this angel. And then you've got this outsider, Lockwood, who's come in hearing all of this and he's seeing them objectively. Not really, but I think it's supposed to be like, okay, we've got this cast of characters. What are we supposed to do with them? And how does love like interact in there? That's why I think this is a romance story, because it is all about love.
Yeah, yeah.
Personally. Yes.
Yes, I love it. Okay, what is love? Yours was deep. Mine is not that deep. Mainly because I think in my brain, when I'm like thinking about Wuthering Heights, it's just so many different perspectives of Catherine and Heathcliff.
Yeah.
And then everything after Catherine's death is like Heathcliff's revenge, and then just all the people that are being destroyed by it, or at least like being severely impacted by it.
Yes.
But I guess like one quote that I just like, I don't know, like all of chapter 9 was amazing.
Oh yes.
All of chapter 15, like all of those like were like the man, like Emily had to have felt this or like had a deep understanding of this to be able to write this, because it's just so beautiful. Like this idea that someone else is more you than yourself is crazy.
Yeah.
Like Heathcliff is more of myself than I am. It's like, what? Like I can't even like fathom that, because I feel like I've been raised with such an individual mindset. Anyways, so one of the quotes that I liked comes from Catherine, and it's Catherine talking to Nellie, and she's like, I cannot express it. Basically, this is love. This is like her talking about her love. But surely you and everybody have a notion that there is or should be an existence of yours beyond you. So like after death, what were the use of my creation if I were entirely contained here? My great miseries in this world have been Heathcliff's miseries, and I watched and felt each from the beginning. My great thought in living is himself. If all else perished and he remained, I should still continue to be, which, I mean, that is a huge part of the book.
Yes.
And if all else, because like Catherine, even though she dies, is still a strong point of the book. Like she exists still, because Heathcliff can never let her go.
No, none of them can.
No. And if all else remained and he were annihilated, the universe would turn into a mighty stranger. I should not seem a part of it. My love for Linton is like the foliage in the woods. Time will change it, I'm well aware, as winter changes the trees. My love for Heathcliff resembles the eternal rocks beneath, a source of little visible delight, but necessary. Nellie, I am Heathcliff. He's always, always in my mind, not as a pleasure, any more than I am always a pleasure to myself, but as my own being. Like, it's not even like an enjoyable experience.
No.
It's like this is it. This is and like it, like this is the way it is, kind of a thing. And this is like her, like this is Nellie trying to get a reason out of Catherine for marrying Linton. She's like, no, those aren't the right reasons. These aren't the right reasons to marry him. But it's like all of it is like, well, this is how society is, and this is the only way we can survive it. But even though this is the way it is, it doesn't change the fact that I like Heathcliff is me, and like I am like consumed by Heathcliff. And so this obsession, this is going to dive a little bit into the movie adaptation, everybody. The movie, okay, everyone is like, man, they butchered it. And I'm like, okay, probably, but they got the obsession. They got the obsession that they had for each other. And they got the love, if you could call it that. I feel like it's almost like it's a love that transcends anything any of us have really like truly experienced. I feel like someone who wrote this has to be so, like what you said, introspective. They have to be so in touch with their emotions, because some people feel like, I feel like people could live their whole lives and never have felt as deeply as Catherine feels for Heathcliff and Heathcliff feels for her. This is my thesis. I think Emily Brontë would have liked Charlie XCX.
Yes.
Always everywhere. That song literally captures the heart of the book, because that's what she says. She's like, I love the earth he walks in, the air above his head. I love Heathcliff. Like basically, like she, like all of that is just perfectly adapted by Charlie XCX in the film adaptation. I was like, dang. So that's me saying, she, at least if the movie adaptation didn't do it, the music nailed what the vibe of this book was.
That's true. Well, it got that specific scene perfectly.
Yes.
Because like before, because she's talking about this dream that she had, and she's talking to Nellie about it, and Nellie's superstitious and is like, no, don't tell me, because if she says it out loud, then it's going to become real.
I love this part.
Catherine, she talks about her dreaming about her dying and going to heaven. And Nellie's like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And so then she says, there's nothing. Like, there's nothing in heaven. There is nothing, cried she. I was only going to say that heaven did not seem to be my home, and I broke my heart with weeping to come back to earth, and the angels were so angry that they flung me out into the middle of the heath on top of Wuthering Heights, where I woke sobbing for joy. So she gets kicked out of heaven and is happy about it.
Yep.
That will do to explain my secret, as well as the other. I have no more business to marry Edgar Linton than I have to be in heaven, and if the wicked man in there had not brought Heathcliff so low, I shouldn't have thought of it. I would degrade me to marry Heathcliff now. So he shall never know how I love him, and that not because he's handsome, Nellie, but because he's more of myself than I am. Whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same, and Linton's is as different as a moonbeam from lightning or frost from fire. First of all, that was written beautifully.
Okay, she drops this.
It is poetry.
The best lines in this all have to do with Catherine and Heathcliff's feelings for each other.
They do. Like at the end, okay, I'll get to that later. But when Heathcliff's talking about Kathy after she's been dead for like 18 years, and he goes back to her grave and like digs it up, wild, and is talking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful.
That
Heathcliff, you are a horrible human being, but oh my goodness.
No, he's a monster, but literally like creates the most beautiful art, I have to say, with like his heart, his mind, his words. Like that's the thing about the adaptation in the recent movie that came out, is like they chose the best quotes for it to adapt into.
Any good line from the movie is straight from Emily.
It's straight from Emily Brontë. It is like anything, like the concept of Heathcliff saying like, well, if you're not going to be here with me, haunt me then, make me mad. Like that. He says that. Like he literally, like Emily wrote that, and it's so good. Like the absolutely unhinged characters were captured, I think, in this movie very well. And the part that always like emotionally gets me is like when Nellie was like, well, what's the problem with Linton then? And like Kathy like is like, it's here. And here, like she's pointing to her mind and her heart. She's like so in tune with how her body feels, like in response to like decisions. She's just like, it just doesn't feel right. I'm not home unless like she's with Heathcliff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's just absolutely, it's just like, I feel like I'm jealous of Catherine in the sense that she can feel so deeply, and she's just so emotional in that way. But this book, man,
so much so that she dies.
So much so she literally drives herself mad. She like starves herself. And then this is going to all the people that are on the Nellie's the villain / like also Nellie is not the villain arguments that are going on. And one of the arguments for Nellie, in the sense that she's as much of a victim as the rest of them. Yeah. Like was that she literally didn't think anything was wrong with Catherine for a while, because Catherine literally just said like she wanted to pout. So
Catherine's dramatic. She cried wolf so many times.
She did. That's what chapter 11 and 12 is like all about, is like her crying wolf. And so she then like, and also Edgar's pouting. Edgar, pouting Catherine.
Catherine was horrible to Edgar.
Yes.
Horrible.
And so finally, like, Kathy is like, oh, snap. She actually made herself sick. It wasn't like she was omitting a bunch of stuff. It was like she probably legitimately was just like, Catherine's dramatic. And I've dealt with this since she was little.
We've known each other our whole lives. She's done this before.
Yeah. Then, she would go stand out in the rain. Like, she did that. And I was like, you want to get yourself sick? I don't care. She's like, you're crazy. Okay. So, like, yeah. Anyways.
I also think it's very interesting that like her pregnancy in the book isn't really a thing.
Yeah, you hardly know.
It jumps in time and she just has Kathy.
Everyone's like, wait, she was pregnant?
She dies.
Like, Nellie barely references that because she's like, why are you doing this in your condition? And everyone was like, what is like, that could be assumed as like she's sick, but that's like, no, it's because she's literally pregnant.
Yep.
But anyways, to our questions. Let's have a little mini interview for those who want a little bit more of that book club conversation.
I like it.
And I feel like all of these questions is just going to be yes. And then what else? So like, is the relationship between Catherine and Heathcliff truly love or something more destructive and consuming? Or something we can't have a name for, like almost supernatural? Like how do we describe their relationship?
If you go into the like scholars, I think that's awesome. You use the word supernatural. They coin it as supernatural. It's something that it's not existing in our world. It's so outside of it that it has become supernatural.
They literally forged something all on their own.
Yeah.
Crazy. Okay. Yeah, I love that.
I think if we were to look into it as like a modern lens and rationally, it's not healthy. It's consuming, it's destructive. Yeah. Like they need to be separated.
Yeah.
Like they can't be together. But then again, is it so destructive and consuming that they have to be together?
Yeah.
It's like Bella and Edward.
Yep.
They're so obsessed with each other. And like book 2, when they separate, like they both basically die.
Oh, they do. Quote, and unquote. Everybody gets wrecked by it. Yes.
Like
poor
Jacob
Charlie.
is Edgar.
Jacob is Edgar.
Jacob is Edgar.
Jacob is Edgar.
Edward is Heathcliff, which is not a good thing, but you know.
Oh my gosh. Charlie is Nellie.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, so like being separated, that's what ends up killing Kathy, is them separating and them marrying different people.
That's nuts. Oh man, we gotta write a paper about this. Okay, that's beautiful. No, it's true. It's true. Like they kind of need to be together or else bad things happen. Exactly. But also when they're together, it's not healthy.
It's not, no.
Because it's like they beat each other, but also they take care of each other in some weird way.
They deserve each other.
Yeah. Just let them go be on an island.
They can go be by themselves.
Like locked in by the ocean.
Edgar and Isabella, they just have to deal with them.
See, that's the other thing too. This is the other thing. Like there is a performativity in Catherine and Heathcliff for everybody else, but when they're together. Like when they're together, they are real. They are themselves. Catherine only feels the need to be good with Edgar.
Yep.
Because she has to. Whereas she doesn't have to put on that mask when it's interesting.
She literally said she goes to heaven and it's not for her.
No.
Because Heathcliff isn't going to make it to heaven.
No. Well, he makes sure of that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Poor child Linton was literally used as his like creature of bidding and then dies from the effects. It's horrible child abuse. Moving on. Do you see Heathcliff as a victim, a villain, both? And does your view of him change by the end?
So the answer is yes. I think he has to exist in both.
Yeah.
I think because the one critique that people have of the movie that I think is fully valid is that Heathcliff is a person of color. Like that's just a fact.
Yeah.
And I think part of the reason why that's so important in the book is because when people meet Heathcliff, if he looked like Catherine, I think they would assume that he is like her sibling and they would automatically like her. Like even Nellie talked about how she didn't really like him as a kid.
Yep.
And I think a lot of that is hinged on the fact that he had darker skin and people were racist.
Yep.
And I do think that is a very valid critique of the movie, because that is like, when people look at Heathcliff, they always automatically dislike him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that's because he looks different than everybody else.
Yep.
So he is a victim. Yes, period. Yep. And he was bullied by Catherine's brother.
Hindley,
thanks.
There's lots of H's.
Beaten by Hindley, was like treated horribly, and was seen as lesser than human. He was seen less than a dog, basically.
Yep.
But after he leaves, gets rich, and come back, I think he is a villain.
Yep.
Like, there's a moment where Nellie is fighting so hard to keep Catherine, because Catherine's dad has just died.
Young Catherine.
Catherine. Kathy. Sorry, I'll call her Kathy. If I'm talking about young Catherine,
Kathy.
I'll say Kathy. When Kathy's dad dies, when Edgar dies, and there's nothing else tying her to Grange, and now Heathcliff has like full authority over her, there's this moment where Nellie's talking about Catherine walking away, and Heathcliff is holding onto her arm, and it's like, oh, the villain just won. And it's kind of sad.
Oh my gosh.
So it's like he wins in the end, really. He gets everything he wants, but I don't think it's a good thing.
No.
Because he hit her multiple times before that.
And abused his own child.
Abused his wife.
And he also like used this system that oppresses women against Kathy.
Yeah.
Because he knew she was going to get Grange. If Linton married her, her property would go to him. And he forced Linton to put him in the will. So if he died, Heathcliff got it.
And Heathcliff knew Linton was going to die.
So he exploited the system that he knew oppressed Kathy. And to get so that's property. A villain story for sure.
It is a villain story, but it's also like, I think the reasons that happened to him are valid. I don't think it's like okay, and I think he was a horrible adult.
Yeah.
But I feel really bad for the kid version of him.
And that's what I think the movie did for me was Kathy was still like, so much of her love of Heathcliff is like her remembering young Heathcliff, because like she continues to humanize him even after.
I know there's that moment where Edgar and Isabella come over to play with Catherine, and Heathcliff really wants to join them, but he like looks kind of like dirty because he like wasn't well taken care of, and so Nellie like cleans him up. Do you remember this in the beginning? And send him off, and Isabella and Edgar immediately hate him and tease him, and so then he hits them.
Yep. He doesn't know what to do.
No.
It's not good, but it's just and in the movie, it makes you think of that part when she's like sitting in the bed when she's sick and he's like holding her ankle, because it's like her like remembering when he was little and like that relationship when they were together, and that was like probably the best way to view Heathcliff as still human, because that's the other thing that like I totally forgot, like this detail in the book, was when he was keeping the lawyer away from Edgar, who was gonna put everything in a trust for Kathy. Until after he died, and then Kathy wasn't protected anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so messed up. And Kathy's Catherine's child. Like,
she looks like Kathy. I actually have a quote about that.
Yeah.
So Kathy has, this is the end of the book. She turns 18.
Oh, this is an important part.
She looks like Catherine now. And I feel like what Nellie had done and Edgar has kept Kathy away from Wuthering Heights to basically preserve her, to keep her kind.
Because they knew
that Heathcliff would degrade her, basically.
Yep, that's the word.
To use the word. So this is after she's married Linton, Heathcliff's son, and he's died. And then she's like fully seen Heathcliff for who he is. Because I think before, when Kathy was a kid, it was like, oh, this is scary Uncle Heathcliff. I have to stay away from him, but I don't really understand why my dad hates him so much.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't really get it. Now she does. And she says, I know he has a bad nature, said Catherine. He's your son. She's talking about Linton. So she's like, he's your son. That's why he has a bad nature. But I'm glad I have a better to forgive it. I know he loves me, and for that reason I love him. Mr. Heathcliff, you have nobody to love. And however miserable you make us, we shall still have the revenge of thinking that your cruelty rises from your great misery. You are miserable, are you not? Lonely like the devil and envious like him, nobody loves you. Nobody will cry for you when you die. I won't be you. So and then it was like, Catherine spoke with a kind dreary triumph. She seemed to have made up her mind to enter into the spirit of her future family and draw pleasure from the griefs of her enemies. So she's basically become like Heathcliff.
And like what's crazy,
but she said that she's not going to be like him.
It's
but she
like
kind of does.
Her statement of it. Yeah.
But after Catherine died, he literally just became miserable and horrible. And
he did. Everyone. He did. And then he lost, like, it was like, that's the part that you were referencing at the end when he's talking to Nellie, and Nellie didn't know any of this, that he like went to her grave and like dug it up.
I'm going to find that.
And he basically like started to lose his whole plot of revenge. And then what kind of like topped it all off was when he saw Hareton and he saw Kathy, and they had Catherine's eyes. They have the Earnshaw eyes. And he was like, and then he locked himself up in Catherine's room and just starved himself.
And then he died.
Yes. And that was the funny fact, like when the doctors was like, he passed away, and Nellie's like, I wasn't going to tell him he hadn't eaten for 4 days. I was like, sheesh. But yeah, you find that part, because that part is it's very beautiful.
Oh, this is when the villain ended. This isn't when he dug up Catherine's grave, but this is Nellie. I watched them from the window walk down the garden. Heathcliff fixed Catherine's arm under his, though she disputed the act first. Evidently and with rapid strides, he hurried her into the alley whose trees concealed them. And I said, he has Catherine now. He's won. Like, the villain has basically won the story. So this is right after Catherine basically tells him that no one loves him anymore. Young Kathy. Yeah, this is when Kathy tells Heathcliff, no one loves you. You don't love anyone. You're a horrible human being.
You're miserable.
That struck him to his core. And I think it's because she now looks and sounds exactly like Catherine, like her mom, that Heathcliff had like this is a poor choice of words, but like a come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, you're right. I'm a horrible human being and no one loves me. So what does he do?
And no one's going to miss me when I'm gone.
Yep. So what does he do? He goes and digs up Catherine's grave.
Yeah.
So he says, so this is Heathcliff. I'll tell you what I did yesterday. I got the sexton who was digging Linton's grave to remove the earth of her coffin lid, and I opened it. I thought once I would have stayed there when I saw her face again. It is hers yet, which is interesting because this is 18 years later. Yeah. He had hard work to stir me, but he said it would change if the air blew on it. And so I struck one side of the coffin loose and covered it up. Not Linton's side, damn him. I wish he'd been soldered in lead, and I bribed the sexton to pull it away when I laid there and slid mine out too. So this is what we did. I don't know if you remember this. He basically said that he wants to be buried between them. So he has a coffin already there, basically.
Yep.
I've made it so, and then by the time Linton gets to us, he'll not know which is which. You're very wicked, Mr. Heathcliff, I exclaimed. This is Nellie. Were you not ashamed to disturb the dead? I disturbed nobody, Nellie, he replied, and I gave some ease to myself. I shall be a great deal more comfortable now, and you'll have a better chance of keeping me underground when I get there. Disturbed her? No. She has disturbed me night and day through 18 years incessantly, remorselessly, till yesterday night, and yesterday night I was tranquil. I dreamt I was slept the last sleep by that sleeper, with my heart stopped and my cheek frozen against hers. So he's talking about, he's literally in her grave.
Yep.
By her skeleton, cheek to cheek, and it's like, I felt tranquil there.
And what's crazy is he's felt like that was the most he's ever lived in the last 18 years.
Yeah, anyways, and Nellie's like, are you okay? And he's like, no.
Yep.
So let's see here.
He's like lived without his life.
Basically.
She's his life.
Later on, he says, I'll have her in my arms again. If she be cold, I'll think it is the north wind that chills me, and if she be motionless, it is sleep. I got a spade from the tool house and began to delve with all my might. It scraped the coffin. I fell to work with my hands. The wood commenced cracking about the screws. I was on the point of attaining my object when it seemed that I heard a sigh from someone above, close at the edge of the grave, and bending down. If I can only get this off, I muttered. I wish they may shovel into the earth, earth over us both. and I wrenched at it more desperately still. There was another sigh close at my ear. I appeared to feel the warm breath of a displacing sleet-laden wind. I knew no living thing in flesh and blood was by, but as certainly as you perceive the approach to some substantial body in the dark, though it cannot be discerned, so certainly I felt that Kathy was there, not under me, but on the earth. So that's her basically like, she got kicked out of heaven and now she's with Heathcliff.
Yeah, she's waiting for him.
Because he dug up her grave.
And there's just something so morbid about him having them remove the side panels because he wants their dusts to be next to each other.
Yes.
Like he doesn't want anything to separate them.
No.
I'm like, wow.
This is true.
That's kind of crazy. So
it
wild.
Crazy.
Wild.
Now, since I've seen her, I'm pacified a little. It was a strange way of killing, not by inches, but by fractions of hairbreadths to beguile me with the scepter of a hope through 18 years. Yes.
What's so interesting is if Nellie...
then he takes Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, yeah. What?
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good.
No, I was just thinking that Nellie did this thing where she intertwined Heathcliff's hair with Linton's in Catherine's locket.
Because Catherine did love Edgar.
Yeah, she
in
did.
her own way.
Yeah, she did. And like everyone was like, that was a weird thing to do for a superstitious person because it almost like cursed everybody.
Yes, this is true.
But anyways, you guys, this is a crazy book. And this is the thing. The book has a sort of breaking the cycle moment when, we didn't really talk about this, little Kathy falls in love with Hareton, her cousin.
Yes.
Who...
The one that had that scene where he was killing a bunch of puppies.
And she was like, that's my cousin?
She refused it. She refused that he was her cousin.
Yep. And then the biggest thing about Kathy is that she has pity like Catherine did. Like she had pity for Hareton, so she taught him to read, and he's transformed by her. And they fall in love and break the curse because, I mean, that was Hindley's son. And he was able to be his own person. Kathy was able to be her own person, and they were able to be together by choice instead of being forced like she was with Linton. And then Linton died. So that was kind of convenient and also depressing.
I know.
But that's the only good thing about the ending.
Literally. Nellie tells, because Nellie was there for Heathcliff's last words. And so this is the very, very end of the book. Let's see here. They're speaking about Hareton. He says, 5 minutes ago, Hareton seemed a personification of my youth, not a human being. I felt to him such a variety of ways that it would have been impossible to accosted him rationally. In the first place, his startling likeness to Catherine connected him fearfully with her. So to Heathcliff, Hareton is almost both him and Catherine. Like he is them both now in his mind. That, however, which you may suppose the most potent to arrest my imagination is actually the least, for what is not connected with her to me, and what does not recall her. I cannot look down to this floor, but her features are shaped in the flags, and every cloud and every tree, filling the air at night, and caught by glimpses in every object. By day I am surrounded with her image. The most ordinary faces of men and women, my own features, mock me with a resemblance. The entire world is a dreadful collection of memoranda that she did exist, and that I have lost her. Well, Hareton's aspect was the ghost of my immortal love, and my wild endeavors to hold my right, my degradation, my pride, my happiness, and my anguish. And then he's continuing on, and he's like, I have to remind myself to breathe, almost to remind my heart to beat. And it is like bending back a stiff spring. It is by compulsion that I do the slight act, not prompted by one thought, and by compulsion that I notice anything alive or dead, which is not associated with one universal idea. And then the very last paragraph. Though he seldom before had revealed this state of mind, even by looks, it was his habitual mood. I had no doubt he asserted it himself, but not a soul, from his general bearing, could have conjectured the fact. You did not when you saw him, Mr. Lockwood, at the period of which I speak. He was just the same as then, only fonder of continued solitude and perhaps still more laconic in company. Basically, this is his state of being dead. And I thought it was so creepy how she was like, he had a grin on his face that they couldn't get rid of. And she had to like cover his face because it was like, he was almost gonna like possess one of them because he had this like creepy look on his face.
Yeah. Woof.
Anyways,
that's Wuthering Heights.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Bon appetit.
But I enjoyed it, but
Mhm.
it is very different from anything we've really read before.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how else to end this beyond what did you think?
I know. What did you think? I feel like I was on board with being open-minded about Heathcliff until he married Isabella, and then started just like talking horribly to her about her. And she, in a time where women couldn't be independent, she like took her son and left to escape him. Like he had to have been like horrible.
Oh, and
more than we read in the book.
That's the thing too. She immediately writes Nellie.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, how did you survive Wuthering Heights? She was like, how did you maintain your humanity? Like you see Heathcliff as bad, but it's because he was formed that way from the beginning. But like, how did you lived here? And I'm like, that's a fair question. And that's probably why Nellie's the narrator, is because she's the only one that could narrate it, really.
But the book starts in Wuthering Heights and ends in Wuthering Heights.
Yep.
It's almost like when the dad was alive, Wuthering Heights was a happy place, and then like it didn't become happy until Kathy and Hareton like broke the cycle.
Yep. And she took Wuthering Heights because Linton was gone. So
and Heathcliff.
Well, that's the biggest thing. Heathcliff was gone.
Heathcliff was gone. So Kathy was like, "It's mine now."
Yep. And her and Hareton could like turn it back into a happy place. But even when the dad was there,
the brother was still pretty horrible.
Henley would do stuff when the dad was gone. Yep. But anyways, thank you guys for listening.
Yes.
We got to talk about our next book,
Red Rising. Yes, right?
Yep.
We're going to do Red Rising. We switched it last time to do Project Hail Mary, right?
Yes.
So now we're going to do Red Rising.
We're going to do Red Rising.
I heard it's really good. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a series, so I might get dragged into it. But we're just going to focus on the first book. But we're excited. We're excited.
Yes.
Okay, you guys. Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.